Hello all of you. In this session, we'll see lab setup for Windows Server 2022 practicals. So let's start the session. So as you can see that this is my one particular server. As you can see that is a physical box. In that I have 32 GB of RAM and I have a 1 TB of hard disk. Okay, so in what I did already, I installed VMware Workstation Pro. Okay, so you can install any virtualization software. Either you can use Hyper-V, which is available in Windows 10 and Windows Server editions. And if you want to use the VMware, you can use the VMware as well. So I have a VMware Workstation Pro. I already installed it. Now you can see that if I open this, run as administrator and click on yes. Now over there, you can see that we have a Windows Server 2022 Pro. Means Windows VMware Workstation 12 Pro. So VMware Workstation 12 Pro is there. Now with the help of this VMware Workstation 12, I'm going to create a lab setup. Either you can use Windows VMware Workstation 15 also, 16 also, but 12 is also support for Server 2022. Okay, so now we'll go for create a virtual machine. So I'm going to create 5 servers, 5 virtual machines for servers and 2 virtual machines for clients. So let's go for, I go for the custom one over there, and this is the compatibility. As you can see that Workstation 12.0, and what is the compatibility for this? So in one particular virtual machine, which is created in VMware Workstation 12, and using 64 GB of RAM, 16 processors, 10 LAN cards, and 8 TB of hard disk size. So this is the maximum one. We're not able to exceed more than that. Now click on next. Now I'm going to create first virtual machine. So I choose I will install the operating system later. If you want to install right now, you can give the ISO image over there and then we can go for that. But right now I'm just first I'm going to create a virtual machine only. Now Microsoft Windows, in the drop down list you're not able to see Server 2022 over there because it's an older workstation, but it supports Server 2022. Okay, if you use 16 or 15 or 16, so you're able to see over there. So it's okay, fine. We choose Windows Server 2016, but we are going to install Server 2022 in this virtual machine. Now I just changed the virtual machine name. So this is my server-01/2022. This is my complete server name. I copy this and I'm going to save this in the drive. So I have a drive named iDrive. In that we have a VMware VM folder. So in that I'm going to create one folder. So I copy this and I create one folder name server-01/2022. Now this is the location where I want to save my VM. So this is my location. You can use any location to save your VM as well. Now click on next. Now I'm choosing the firmware BIOS. Now processors, so I use 2 processors and 2 cores. So total we have 4 core processors. Okay. Now my hardware supports only 4 cores. Okay, like if I go for the 3, so 6 also it support, 4 also it's not support. Like it support only till 6 cores, not more than that. So I'm using only 2 processors and 2 cores, total 4 cores. Now the RAM I can use, so I have already 32 GB of RAM, so I go for 4 GB, 4096. So 4 GB is more than enough. Now I'm using the host only networking. So with the help of this, I'm able to communicate my virtual machines together. So we're use host only networking over there. And now click on, now we are using the SCSI controller. So as you already know that when you're going to create a server, so in the server we're using SCSI hard disks. So it's a SCSI controller to connect the SCSI hard disks. Now I use SCSI hard disk. Now I'm going to create a new virtual hard disk. Like if you have a already virtual hard disk which is already created, you can attach that hard disk also with this virtual machine. But right now I don't have any new hard disk, so I'm going to create a new virtual hard disk. Now I go for 40 GB. 40 GB is more than enough for me to a particular virtual machine, and I'm choose that store virtual disk as a single hard disk, single file. Now we are using the VMware Workstation, so we're using .vmdk extension for the virtual machine, for the virtual hard disk. And now click on finish. So as you can see that my server 1 virtual machine is created. Now same I'm going to create my other 4 virtual machines for same step. Again go home, new, click on next, next again, same thing. I'm using I give the name over there server hyphen 02-2022. I copy this and I go to the VMware, create a folder for this. Okay, and then click on next. BIOS, 2 processors, 2 cores, so total 4 cores processor we have, and I give the 4 GB of RAM over there also. And use host only networking, and same thing, virtual hard disk, 40 GB space I give, store a single file, click on next and finish. Like this, as you can see that we can create 2 servers. Like this I'm going to create all 5 servers. Now as you can see that we can create 5 servers, 5 virtual machines. Okay, I'm going to install servers on all these 5 virtual machines. Now we are going to create 2 clients as well. So I'm going to create a client. So like this, same thing, I'm going to go to click on next and choose workstation 12.0, and over there use, I will install the operating system later. In that I'm using Windows 10. Okay, so I'm using Windows 10 client, and this is my client -01 which I'm using. Let's copy this. I go to VM, make the folder, and same thing, I give 2 processors and 1 core. It's total 2 cores. It's okay with me. For client, 2 core is more than enough, and we'll go for the same thing. 4 GB of RAM, use host only, and like this, 40 GB hard disk. So client 1 is also created, and the same thing we're going to install client 3 as well. Sorry, client 2 as well. So this is what we have, a client 02. Folder I'm going to create like this, and choose the 2 processors and 2 cores for 4096, and then use host only networking, and 40 GB of hard disks, and simply click on next and finish. So like this, how we can go for that. So we have 5 servers, 5 virtual machines for servers, and 2 virtual machines for client. So this is what we have the setup we need.